So I remember like it was just yesterday. If I remember, like if it was either like 2009 or 2010, depending on the issue. But yeah, this was a good concept, and I was just thinking, has there been anything where the villain turned good at the end? But I was like, oh yeah, Doc Ock from Spider-Man 2. But this was one of the rare occasions, a full-on occasion where it settles on Gru trying to be the most awesome, popular, greatest supervillain of all time, and in order to steal a shrink ray to steal the moon, he collects these three orphan girls. In order to do that, but in order to find out, he begins to just warm up to them, and eventually becoming their father.
Yeah, that's what I like about Gru. Yeah, he did really swell, even though he had a rough life, like barely having money to like build a rocket ship to go to the moon to shrink in the first place. But he's still a great guy, and if you get to know him better, if he doesn't freeze you, he might be fun to hang out with.
Yeah, you kind of like gave away the character, like in the character section, but yeah, it's a pretty good sum up.
Or something. Hey guys, check it out. Wait, sorry, you have it recorded, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's on.
Check this out. Piranha gun. Oh yeah.
Bro.
I'll be back.
Yeah, see?
That's alright. Y'all ruin it. That's alright. Alright, so, but let's not forget what happened in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
So, we see Gru, of course, walking, of course. Well, of course, before Gru's walking, of course, we see all like these, visitors, like, visiting, of course, Egypt. And this little boy was, playing with his airplane and all that. And, he was trying to, like, go higher and higher in the pyramid, but he fell down and finding out that it was a fake the whole time.
Yep. It was, basically gigantic inflatable, because the real one got stolen, and we don't know who stole it. So, and that's where we got introduced to Gru.
And yeah, he saw a little boy crying because he dropped his ice cream, and Gru was like, let me make him like a balloon, animal, and he did, and the kid got happy, and then he popped it. Damn. Yeah. And of course he went to. Oh no, go ahead.
No. I'll explain later. Go on.
I was gonna explain the next thing, but go on.
No, you go. I mean, because like this is the thing. Like if you stop in the middle, then that means that somebody's gonna like take over.
I think we've been to this a lot of times, but yeah, he goes to a coffee shop and he has his freeze ray.
Freeze race. And he takes the coffee, but he does leave a tip.
Oh, yep. No, I'm still here.
And see, this is the problem. Like no one is talking. I don't know.
I was still here. I don't know why I was muted.
Well, yeah, the mic unmute icon was
it was probably
anyway. And then later we get introduced to his minions called the Minions.
Yes, we also get introduced to like his assistant, Dr. Nefario.
And he is very old, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah. And he's just trying to make plans about being more evil and all that. And of course, for his next plan to take over, take the moon basically. But he needs money from the evil bank. And yeah, that's what he does. He goes to a regular store, and then he goes to the bathtub, and then he goes to where the evil bank is. And then he waits, and we get introduced to Vector.
Yeah, well, she was the one responsible for stealing the pyramid.
Yep. And then this is where we actually get introduced to the head of the bank, Mr. Perkins,
which is also Vector's father. Son.
What?
Right. Just go on.
But yeah, he's just requesting to have some money and showing his plan at first, and then he tries to think of other strategies of how to get money. Oh yeah, of course it's the scene where he shows his piranha gun Vector, and then it fails because the piranhas like start attacking him and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of cool idea, but probably think of the kinks, but yeah, he failed miserably.
And this is where we get introduced to the three main girls. Yep. Margot, Edith, and Agnes. Yes. They're all three sisters from an orphanage. Yeah. But yeah, they're just trying to do good, anything like that. And trying to sell cookies, especially to Gru, but of course, he didn't want to deal with them, so he pretended to be a recorded message.
Yeah, until Edith kicked him.
Ow! Goodbye, recorded message. Good times. And we also get introduced to the head of the orphanage, Miss Hattie. Ooh, yeah, not very good character.
Nope, she is a very bad person. Like, she doesn't give a crap about the girls. And if you're bad, the girls walk by a girl and what they call the box?
Was it like the box of shame or something?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seeing how they lived out, and it's just we learn about more of Agnes, like components and everything.
Unicorns.
Oh, my fault. But yeah. Oh yeah, it's nighttime, of course, where the orphanage is. Yeah, just wishing for parents and everything, of course. And this is where Gru gets creative a little bit, because now he's trying to get, into Vector's, lair and everything, his base. But it fails every time, basically.
Yeah, because he has a variety of security systems.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, in the trailer, after he gets blown up, the kid that got his ice cream dropped earlier, and he got a couple other kids, he actually got beat up. So I don't know why that wasn't in the rest of the movie, though.
Yep. Well, yeah, saying how he felt multiple times, but he got a close-up of the two girls, who was trying to sell cookies to Victor, which he wanted so much. And I just like how Agnes always confuses clothes with pajamas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was later on.
But yeah. And then Gru had this plan, light bulb. So
well,
he pretends to be this dentist. And wants to adopt the girls, and makes this fake story. And while Miss Hattie's looking at his application, the minute start fighting.
I know, because they're the one that was trying to write his resume through the computer, but they were arguing, and so yeah, they started messing it up.
Yeah. And he says something in Spanish, which Miss Hattie thought was a compliment.
Well, not until she finds out later that it wasn't really a compliment.
Yeah, until she looked in the Spanish book, but yeah. And then the third girls get really excited now they were getting adopted, but it's not what they expected. I mean, the first time, me and Gru, they didn't really like it at first. Well, except Agnes, she took a liking to him immediately.
Well, because of her age, she would get to know people better. So.
Yeah. And now we also get introduced to the base of Gru's home. Getting situated and everything. And yeah, the first time seeing how their beds were these bombs, but bigger, but it was creative in a way, but still.
I remember the scene where they were exploring and Agnes stumbled upon that torture device that closed it with the spikes in.
That was Edith.
Oh, Edith, sorry, I didn't mean to say Agnes. But
yes,
when she went in there, that she got impaled, but it was her juice box.
Mm-hmm.
I poked a hole in my juice box.
Well,
continue first.
I was saying because there's no
No, you want to continue with the next part?
You sure you don't want to continue to do so?
No.
Because they were just it's kind of a little bit of Yeah, it's one of these things where the characters, of course, don't really like see eye to eye with each other at first, but then start to develop more and more as the, like, the story goes on. So yeah, that's what that is. Like, Gru's main plan is just like steal the shrink ray in order to steal the moon, but he has to deal with stuff like just going like going to their dance their dance recital and going off to the super silly Funland amusement park, and that's when they decided to just bond with each other. Up until Dr. Nefario gets a little bit fed up and thinking that the girls are just a distraction in order for them to just be successful as villains.
Speaking of Dr. Nefario, remember the cookie scene?
Oh yeah, because he misunderstood because of how old he is. He is hard of hearing. Like, before the cookie robots, he's supposed to have a dart gun, but instead it was a fart gun.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of cookie robots, it's actually boogie robots.
Move your body, baby. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a good jam.
But we do eventually get the cookie robots, which Gru actually likes.
But yeah, also in the movie, they did steal the shrink ray, but of course they got sabotaged by Vector with going to it and then shrinking their what would I say for Gru's like thing?
What you mean? Like, it's just his just ship or something, like whatever it was. I mean, like, I guess so. But that was earlier.
Yeah. And in that awkward scene where they're just riding the tiny airship and everything. Yeah.
And remember in the carnival, they were playing a shooting game, but of course it was rigged. And even though Agnes hit and stuff, and then Gru pulled out his gun and then created a Nova Blast and then blew up the whole thing.
Oh, somebody got a frowny face.
But of course, Agnes got prized a fluffy unicorn.
Yep, and they eventually rode a roller coaster, and they eventually had a fun time.
Yep.
Yeah. And now, like, experiencing with the minions and everything. At first, Gru was telling them it was his cousins, and of course they started like seeing the living room where they're playing with each other, and it was like it was your cousin's idea. I just like this iconic, exactly the iconic meme that ever become.
Yeah. And so, because of this movie, Minions became popular.
They basically became the mascot of Illumination as a whole.
Well, yeah, because they appear in every Illumination. Because, whenever before the movie starts, it shows the Illumination logo, and then it shows the Minions. So, yeah, you're right there.
We bring the biggest duh here. It was the first Illumination Studios movie ever.
I was just going to mention that. God dang, Blitz, you are on fire.
We just mentioned that.
It's on fire!
Oh my god. Oh, you turned to Bebop.
Shut up.
Make me.
You want to play Bebop when we do the eventual transcript?
Well, if we see the... Well...
He said eventually.
I'll get a second.
But yeah, wait, we have until like 2 days. 2 days until the movie comes out.
Yeah. Anyway, we're getting sidetracked. Let's get back to it.
Okay, but yeah, gives props to it, yeah. And eventually, this is where the saddest part comes in with, Gru had to give out the girls because, what the Dr. Nefario thought, And yeah, this is where Miss Hattie confronted Gru about, what he said in Spanish, and of course, like, stopping with the book and everything. And
I know what he said.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, because the burl part in Spanish, it means donkey, so...
Well, what he said was you have a face like a donkey.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, now it's just like all set now, and then now he's cleaning up the mess.
Yeah, and then eventually he goes to the moon and shrinks the... goes to space and shrinks the moon. But then he saw a ticket flown by, which was snuck in by the minions, and he has to go back, but of course he was too late. Everyone's gone, including the girls, but they're actually kidnapped by who else? Vector.
That's me. Yeah.
So yeah, we did explain the part where, of course, yes, like he missed the dance recital, and and yes, Victor kidnapped the girls, and now it's up to him to save them. But what Victor doesn't realize is that yes, the moon was just getting ready to just grow back to its normal size. And yes, he has this opportunity to save the girls, and he promises they will never let them go ever again. And well, yeah, Victor tries to, you can't catch this, big, and then
Yep, it gets squashed by the moon, and then the moon grows bigger, bigger. Eventually, it goes back to its normal size, and then Victor's now in space.
Oh, poo.
Yeah, we don't know how he'll be able to get back to Earth since he's gonna be stuck on the moon.
And plus, the oxygen in that bag he's having around his head, it's not gonna last that long. So anything could happen.
Unless some random ship passes on the moon and he hops aboard. So
yeah.
But as for now, we don't really know what happened to him.
Mm-hmm. So after all this, now they do a celebration with the girls doing their recital in Gru's lair. But it goes all out now. They're all dancing, especially Gru having the moves.
However,
yeah.
Oh wait, go ahead with the funny part. Go ahead.
Yeah, it plays an awesome song, and he starts busting a move until eventually he does the splits, hurting his crotch.
Yep.
However, we forgot the most emotional part of Gru now telling his own story about a unicorn, about one big strong unicorn, or basically about stemming up the story about how he came to just love the girls. And I just always get so emotional when he goes over to Margot to give her a goodnight kiss, and she hugs him and says, "I love you." I always tear up at that part. Wow.
I didn't really tear up, but it was heartwarming though.
It's just the way how it's just Miranda, how she just, she knows how to act. She just, the delivery, it's just the emotion.
Is Fresh tearing up right now as we speak? Not
Oh, what? What? Like you never cried before?
Hey, Fresh, have you cried during the scene where Toy Story 3 where they're all holding hands?
No. Okay, look, I didn't cry, but it was still sad. But thank God that the aliens were there to save me.
Yeah, and the fact that everyone that has seen Toy Story 3 has cried during that scene.
Not me.
Not me either.
No. I mean, it was upsetting at first, but of course now, if you saw the shorts with Bonnie, the Toy Story shorts, it was kind of good. My favorite one is when they went to the fast food chain and they got the toys, and of course we did the little Buzz Lightyear. Remember that short?
Oh, small fry.
Yeah.
Right. And of course we made the right Jack choice, one of them being the Transformer steak.
Mhm. Let's see, other parts of Despicable Me, yeah. Before all this, another part we forgot to mention it now, is that when Gru was coming in his big car, and then we get introduced to his neighbor Fred.
Yeah. It's basically Homer's system and Ned sort of deal, because, he's just a similar design.
Morning, Gru. Good morning. Hello, Fred.
And then we get introduced to his very, very, very mysterious dog creature. Not even Gru knows what that is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And another part, we also get introduced to his mother, and then we see a flashback from Gru's childhood about trying to impress his mom every time, but she's like, eh.
Yeah, even building a rocket out of the macaroni model, she's like, eh.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was her, I would be ecstatic, congratulating, but she don't give a hoot nanny.
Yeah, you know how she is. But there are times where she could also bear his Gru, even showing the baby pictures she was showing to the girls.
Yeah, much to his dismay.
Yeah. Yeah. For being, Illumination Studios' first film, it did really good.
Yeah, and as all thanks to them, we got one of the most popular movies come to date.
Yeah, like of course the Despicable Me franchise. We also got Sing, Hop. Let's see, what else we got? Yeah, the
Grinch.
The Grinch, yes. What was it?
Of course, the Super Mario movie.
Yeah, I said the Super Mario movie.
Like we keep on cutting each other off and stuff. It's just really hard to tell.
But yeah, the Super Mario Bros. Movie, the Lorax, and let's see here. Oh, that new movie that's coming this year, Migration.
Which I am not interested in seeing.
I don't know. It looks interesting, like especially what I saw from the trailer.
Well, that's already, well, if you want to see it, you can go ahead.
Hey, anything's better than Lightyear, but yeah, it's a good franchise and everything. And let's go to the cast.
All right. Oh yeah.
All right. First up, we have the main star himself, Steve Carell playing Gru.
Yeah, and boy, he really did a number on him because he did really awesome, especially pulling off for that accent.
Yeah. It's very rare for like these occasions for celebrities to like change their voice, but Steve Carell's like a perfect an example for that.
Oh yeah, wasn't it like some kind of Russian accent?
Kind
it's
of
Eastern
like
European.
What?
It's Eastern European. If you like look at the facts though.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Like I've watched 107 Facts about Despicable Me and everything, so.
Yeah, and plus, Steve Carell based the voice off like two like actors back in the day. Can't really figure out the names, but yeah, there's two actors, of course, from a long time ago. But still clever of Steve Carell to do this kind of role. Of course, yeah, this was my introduction to Steve Carell as a whole.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean,
That's
of
cool.
course, people would say Over the Hedge, but I didn't see Over the Hedge until later on.
It was Over the Hedge and Evan Almighty.
Yeah,
Same
for
as you.
live action. Yeah, for live action. Well, before seeing the show The Office, of course, it was the meme with Michael Scott. No, please God, no. You just gotta love Carell.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's the character arc of Gru and everything. Especially like a long time ago, I saw this behind the scenes with Steve Carell, explaining about Gru's character and everything. And it was really well put out, And for Gru, Game of Infinity, along with Steve Carell, they're just awesome.
I agree.
And to learn that if you look closely at the family tree that he has, his real name is not actually Gru. That's actually his family name. His real name is actually Nefarious.
Felonious.
Felonious.
And yeah, that shocked me too. But it's so cool to find out like which characters or people have like such interesting names.
Yeah. Alright, next up, let's talk about the villain of the movie, Vector.
Oh yeah.
It's me, yeah. Yeah, I was really shocked about the actor that played him, especially pitching up the voice a bit.
Oh, they pitched up his voice?
No, he did.
The actor did. Like, the actor pitched up, Vector's voice.
Oh.
But yeah, Jason Segel, yeah, he did really good. Because my introduction was, yes, Despicable Me, and I first got introduced to him again in the Muppets movie from 2011.
Yes.
Same here.
Yeah. Of course, his most known work is How I Met Your Mother.
What about Freaks
Which
and
I
Geeks?
didn't really see.
All right, what about Freaks and Geeks? He's known for that too.
What's Freaks and Geeks?
If you if you slow down and listen and do some research, Freaks and Geeks is a teen comedy.
It's a show, yes. It has James Franco, Seth Rogen, Linda Cardellini, and anybody else that you notice. Yeah. But yeah, this playing, Vector in a whole, it was really awesome, especially. And he's it's an honor for him to play the first ever villain in Illumination Studios.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's see here. Other media, oh yeah, I was really shocked that he was in the Seth Rogen movie called "This Is the End," where he cameo as himself.
Oh, I would have to catch that next time. Also saw him in Forgetting Sarah Marshall. That was a good one for me.
And he was also in the Cameron Diaz movie Bad Teacher.
Yes.
My dad, that was my dad's favorite. I didn't really see that movie.
One of my favorite scenes, because it was just funny to me at the time, it was the car wash scene.
was that funny?
Because you know how Cameron Diaz was doing in that one scene where she's cleaning the cars. And, you can see the boys.
Oh.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. But I also like the scene where she helped the student, what can I say, try to be, a better person, and, just, stepping up, and just trying to be a man. But what I was so shocked about that she did that, Noah Muck, aka Gibby, was in that movie.
I know, right?
Gibby. But yeah, for Jason and Victor, I give them infinity. They did great.
Wasn't there a rumor that he was considered rude?
What?
People just say that, I don't think Jason's rude because, I haven't seen a lot of stuff from Jason, other than How I Met Your Mother, but, I consider him as a nice actor, especially from the Muppets movie.
Yeah. You can't be a D when you're associated with the Muppets.
Yeah. Yeah, they're, But, it's what they say, it's their opinions. Alright, but next up is Dr. Nefario, who is played by Russell Brand. Yeah, it was really cool to find out that he was actually in another Limited Studios movie, Hop.
Yeah, people have their mix. When you look at it multiple different times, you kind of have some different feelings. But at first, I did like the movie, but now it's kind of like a mix in between.
But
I think I like it.
Yeah, I like it too. But here's the thing, though: it was the first Limited Studios movie to feature both CGI and live action. That's what I liked.
Well, I did too.
Yeah, and it's the only one to this day. Wish you could do more of that. But Top was a really good one. Especially playing the main character himself. But Dr. Nefario being the assistant of Gru, yes, as Gru could say, why are you so old?
Yeah, because I mentioned earlier, because he must understood twice about the dart gun, fart gun, and then the cookie robot, boogie robots.
But yeah, Dr. Nefario does come in clutch sometimes here and there, especially some plot twists, which we'll get into with the other moves of Despicable Me. But yeah, for him and Russell Brand, I give them also infinity. They're just funny characters.
Yep.
Let's see here. Of course, now we have the main girls. Margot, voiced by Miranda Cosgrove, aka Carly from iCarly.
This was a shocker to me because I didn't know this as a kid, and that was around the time I watched iCarly, and I didn't catch that at first.
How? Just how?
But yeah, it was shocking to me. And it's funny because I was actually watching iCarly yesterday.
Oh, really? What was the episode you were watching?
I know, I was watching because Netflix has added more of the seasons. They added season 3, 4, and 5.
Oh, God. Oh, well, thank you for letting me know that.
Yeah, because I was waiting for a while to add new seasons, and then they did. Yeah, because with the later seasons of iCarly, I did and especially get more arc because remember that arc where Freddie and Sam started dating?
Yes.
And remember when Gibby became more of a main character in the show?
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Especially where he got himself stuck in a chimney, and I still Psycho episode.
Yeah, but the episode I left on yesterday was when Tebow, had to move in with, Freddie's apartment.
Why?
Move out? Don't you mean move out?
Yeah. Well, yeah, because remember, Tebow, he couldn't stay in the Groovy Smoothie because he had a little room upstairs, you can see the stairs. He was not supposed to live up there because there was a guy that said an eviction. He's not supposed to do it because of health codes and anything. So it's convenient because Freddie's mom needed more money, so Tebow was able to get an apartment from basically a room from them. Yeah.
And we can never forget that awesome scene with Fred's mom and him, and I still Psycho, beating up the parents and stuff. That was the best scene ever.
It was, but it was kind of awkward for a while because learning about Tebow's true identity and self, basically. Because remember, Tebow when he first met Freddie's mom, he was in a suit and everything.
Well, yes, he said that he lied to her so much.
Yeah, but it's still trustworthy. Tebow, he's still awesome.
Yeah. Man, I just love that scene. I mean, it was so satisfying for those parents and Nora herself getting beat up.
Happy birthday! That's not my birthday! Uh, but yeah, with the character Margot, yeah, just being the older sister of like the trio, yeah, very reasonable. And although her and Girl didn't get into like
They
each other's
see
like
eye to eye.
like
Yeah, just say that.
yeah, eye to eye, yeah, thank you. And, just like the trauma she went through after like Vector, kidnapped her and everything, and then whether she trust her grew or not, and she eventually did. And yeah, the scene that first was talking about, yeah, it was heartwarming. And Margot, she's one of the best characters in the Despicable Me franchise.
And of course, Miranda Cosgrove got to voice her throughout the whole movies.
Yeah. So yeah, of course, other than iCarly, of course, Fresh, would you like to name some?
Oh, where do I start? Oh yeah, her first ever movie being School of Rock, which was a big shocker for me, and great introduction.
And she's also a movie I watched not too long ago. Yours wasn't ours.
Right.
Yeah. And speaking of School of Rock, first, it's funny because I watched an episode yesterday with Jack Black in it and iCarly.
Ah, I started fan war.
Yeah. It was just funny when No, go ahead, Kristen.
Remember, she's in Word Girl, where she voiced Victoria.
Yes, of course. And don't forget, of course, Megan. And what's new, Scooby-Doo?
Yeah. What was that girl's name?
Miranda Wright.
Which is funny because that's actually Miranda's first name.
No, really? I thought it
was. How some actors sometimes use their first name for their characters they're going to voice or play in live action.
No.
But yeah, of course, let's not forget about the iCarly reboot, which is now getting fans now waiting now because now they left on a cliffhanger a little bit until the next season. Because if you've heard, now the last episode they aired, it was mentioning Spencer and Carly's mom, and she actually showed up to the wedding for her and Freddie.
What? Get out of here!
They didn't show her; they just left on a cliffhanger.
Man, well, they better do something about it.
And then now people are saying who should play the mother, because it's been a long time, because people make theories about what happened to their mother. Did she sadly pass away? Did divorce or anything? But yeah.
I mean, I don't know. They better have a brainstorm about it.
But yeah, and it kind of got sad because when one of the other episodes, Carly and Spencer were talking about how their mother, what happened basically. I won't spoil that much, but yeah, it was kind of sad. Yeah.
Well, who would you see if they had actors play their mother? Who would you see?
People for the most time since this came out, what was it? The mom that from Drake and Josh.
Nicole Sullivan? Oh no, wait. Oh, wait, that's Nancy Sullivan. I was about to say Nicole Sullivan. Wow.
But yeah, that would have been funny. Let's see, what other ones? So some people are saying Jennifer Coolidge.
Why Jennifer Coolidge?
Whoa! You got a problem with her?
You got a problem?
No. I mean, why Jennifer Coolidge specifically?
Because remember, they're older now, so it kind of makes sense for this kind of time period.
Duh.
Well, how about Jamie Lee Curtis?
What the fuck?
It's funny how you said. I know why you got that idea, because people say that Jerry Trainer looks like her.
Oh no! Don't. That's just mean.
Why would they say that about Jamie Lee Curtis and Jerry Trainer?
It's just a wonder. But yeah, this question we get every time: how could Spencer and Carla, afford that apartment they had, this big ass, penthouse, basically?
That is a very good question because that has never been brought up. And how does Carly have her own website to begin with?
Hello. There was some kind of what?
No, I was gonna say the internet, which way she began it. But if you watch the first episode, that explains how she became what she is today.
Yeah, get Netflix.
But I still want to ask a question, how was she able to afford renting an apartment like that with that big of a penthouse it is? I mean, that's just goddamn bizarre. Especially with that mean guy at the bottom with that mole.
He made his warts. There's a difference.
Whatever.
His name is Lubert. It's legit in the name.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Like, how high can somebody be, like, up to this day?
Alright, but for Margot and Miranda Cosgrove, I both give them infinity.
Eddie.
Yep, they both rock. Schoolhouse rock.
And now for the second oldest sister, Edith.
Yep. How would you describe her personality?
Come on, she's a tomboy.
She's a tomboy, but she's also badass.
And I wish we saw her hair, because throughout the films, we never got took off her hat, basically.
You know what that kind of reminds me of? Louise from, Bob's Burger.
Burgers.
I said burgers.
No, you didn't. Like, not from my side. Like, I didn't hear the S, but...
But, because Louise never takes out her hat. Except this one episode where this boy took her hat, but it didn't show her hair. It just showed, a cut off, of her body, basically. But,
wow! They pulled a double D on that.
yeah. But
Or it's kind of like Meg from Family Guy.
Dude, Meg has been seen without her hat, you dingus.
Yeah.
Yes, but, on occasion, she never takes off her hair, but it's usually...
Dude!
But that's funny, though. Never taking it off, because Lois in this one episode, she was going so crazy that she took out Meg and, Chris's hat and revealing that they're Legos.
Oh, yeah. And the fact that one of the reasons that she always wears her hat, because apparently she was born with a heart in her head.
Yeah, despite the fact that she has, again, been seen without it.
Yeah, she's been seen without it. And, another time you can see is that, remember that when Peter found out that he had other kids, and she got killed by her Russian, twin?
Yes, and sadly enough, that's the actual, it's the Russian clone this whole time, apparently.
Yeah. But, what can you say? But, going back to Edith, this, in our opinions, and our actor, Dana Giller, she's been in the franchise forever. Maybe she's been in it. It's called this. What is this? Is this a movie? Yeah, it's called The Ice Cream Truck. You ever heard of it?
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do like how she kept going along with Miranda Cosgrove with voicing the girls. But yeah, I also give her a 50.
Yeah, she did good. And now for Agnes, the youngest of the group.
Yeah. Go on, Christian.
But actually, she had two voice actors, because her first one was her in Despicable 1 and 2, but of course, since she got older and got puberty, they had to have a new one.
And?
Oh, shoot. I'll just wait until Wes comes back. Alright, so as I was saying, Agnes actually had two voice actors, because the first one was her for the first two movies.
Equations, happen, so, especially to females, because, how females, keep going on, voicing, young girls or, young boys. But it's still shocking.
Yeah, actually, got used to Agnes' first voice actor in the behind the scenes of Despicable Me 2.
How did that go?
It's really good. But for Agnes, of course, she's very lovable, of course, because of her cute personality and appearance, and yeah, nothing can go wrong with her. You can't hate her for real. And of course, her iconic line, "It's so fluffy!"
Yeah.
But remember that scene where Ada... What?
I see, you see what I mean? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, go on, Christian.
So yeah, remember the scene where Edith accidentally destroyed his tiny stuffed unicorn toy, and the minions had to go find another one, and they went to a store, and they're like, oh man, they're just trashing through the place. But it's a pretty funny scene. Until eventually, of course, she got her own unicorn plushie at the carnival tickets to Gru.
Papa toy. Ah, toy. Yeah.
No, it's toy. Papa boy.
Yeah. But it's just like when the minions just went into that big supermarket place and everything. It was just like a fun time for them.
Yeah, especially the fact that they're dressed up as actual people and stuff. One got skyrocketed with a soda pop, one got a massage, one staying through the TV screens.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, for Agnes and her first original actor, I both give the affinity. It was just like, lovely, this is the personality of just a cheerful, personality, that's it.
Yeah, for any typical little girl. And next up is Gru's Bulda.
You could have done better. Not go on.
Who's the voiced by?
Julie Andrews.
Yeah.
Right, thank you. Julie Andrews.
The OG Mary.
Yep. Well, she ain't no Mary Poppins, that's for sure. And in terms of, there it goes. In terms of course, Gru's perspective, but for Gru's mom, yeah, she is very not consistent with Gru. Like I mentioned before, she was not interested, like Gru ideas and stuff. Not like.
Just say she's a terrible mother, okay?
Yeah, not being supportive and all. She's very bad. But of course, she gets along with the girls, and she's proud of Gru becoming a father.
But yeah, her actor, Julie Andrews, other than being Mary Poppins, I know other people got introduced to in Shrek too.
Yes.
Right, because she played Fiona's mother.
Yeah. And of course, she was also...
That's actually my introduction to her.
Cool, yeah. And of course, other ones I was surprised about is when she was in the Tooth Fairy movie with Dwayne Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I haven't watched that movie in ages. She played the head Tooth Fairy.
Mm-hmm. And it's funny because that was my introduction to The Rock. The Brony, but yeah.
And remember, Seth MacFarlane actually made an appearance in that movie.
Yeah.
Let's see. Other ones that were shockers is the Aquaman movie in 2018.
Right, because she played Aquaman's mother. I forgot that too.
Wait.
I was going to question that too, Christian. I think you got a little bit twisted because she provided one of the voices of like some of the characters there.
Oh.
Yeah, it was somebody else that was his mom, dingus. It was Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's what her name is.
Yeah. Wait.
Anyway, back to Gru's mom. You want to say anything else?
I mean, you basically summed it up.
Yeah. So for Gru's mom, 5. But for Julie Andrews, of course, she's an iconic affinity.
Same.
Yeah.
Alright.
Can I ask you something, Christian?
Yes.
Can I crush the apple? Because now we can talk about Will Arnett.
Not clever. Okay, go ahead, Blitz.
Okay, so yes, this was my introduction to Will Arnett as a whole.
Me too.
Monsters vs. Aliens.
Oh, okay. Will Arnett plays this big, main boss who owns like this evil bank and everything, and then learning that he's the father of a Vector basically, and very strict about his rules and everything. And what was so shocking in the behind the scenes that Will Arnett actually gained a lot of weight because
I forgot you told me that. I mean, that was very unnecessary to do, but I guess he tried to get more into character. I guess.
Yeah, that's the point.
He just wanted to deepen the voice a little bit, that's why.
I mean, why deepen the voice when you already got such a deep voice already? Come on.
Exactly. I mean, Kevin Michael Richardson has a deep voice already, but he doesn't do anything to, enhance it.
But still, it was dedicated. But, yeah, for Mr. Perkins and Will Arnett, I won't give it infinity. It was like a good introduction.
Let's not forget the iconic scene where he video-chatted the dude, and he had pamphlet, telling his plans, I go into space, I shrink the moon, I grab the moon, wait, what?
You sit on the toilet. Goodbye, Ruby. And what was so cool is that he made a return in Minions Rising Gru.
Right, because, it was before Gru, had his own army and stuff. Well, I mean, he still had the minions, but it was, before and stuff. But that was a total shocker, too. And it's such a normal bank, too.
Mm-hmm.
That's just, wow. And it's also sad because, recently Alan Arkin, who played the character Wild Nuggles in that movie, died not too long ago.
Also, in the Minutes movie, basically the origins of the Minutes, he makes a little cameo in that movie, Mr. Perkins.
Really? The first one?
Yeah, the first Minions movie, like, yeah, he made a little cameo in the crowd with all the villains and everything.
No effing way.
Because remember, when the Minions went to, like, Villain Con, you could see Gru and his mom, meaning Dr. Nefaria, down there.
Yes.
Yeah, but I didn't see him in there.
Well, yeah, because he was in the crowd, remember? So, like, it's a little cameo, that's what I'm saying.
Wait, if you didn't see him, then why didn't you check the Pop-Up Girls?
But there's also a guy you wouldn't expect in there. I saw a short of it. President Nixon was actually in the crowd.
Yes, I did see that too.
Well, I didn't actually know that because the only time I ever saw Nixon in that film was a picture of him, like, promoting himself, and I saw a short of him, like, talking about his cameo in there, and it's like, so he's a villain, and a lot of people in comics explain to me, like, why he's a villain and stuff, because talking about, like, something about, like, water bridges. No, I don't remember what it was about, but apparently he was a bad guy.
Yeah.
But going back, yeah, Will Arnett really did great with this guy. I really love the sound of his gruffy, husky voice. Of course, affinity for him.
Gruffy and husky. Yo, those are the perfect words, Chris. Let's quote them today. Quotes of the day, everybody. But yeah, I do agree with what you're saying. But for Will Arnett's live action performance, like, I first got introduced to him in live action in the TMNT Michael Bay movie. Blades of Glory. You first?
Oh, okay, yeah. Let's see, which one was it? It was, oh, geez, well, I can't remember. I guess it was, probably Arrested Development.
Yeah, because that was, like, one of his biggest, like, shows at the time, but a good one. All right. Next up, Kristen Wiig.
Oh yeah, because she. That was a shocker to me because I would have not known that was Kristen Wiig right there. Because at the time, I didn't really know who Kristen Wiig was. I got introduced to her through Looney Tunes show, and then, like, I recognized her voice again in This With Me Too. That's how I started to love her. And then I got introduced to her in live action and the movie Date Night with Steve Carell and Tina Fey, and then it was also Brian.
Gru and Lucy in the movie. Good one.
What?
What? Oh, wait a second.
Gru and Lucy.
Anyway, we're getting off track. So yeah, it was a shocker to me to find out that she was the head of the orphanage.
Yeah. Oh, it was like one of her worst roles from my perspective, but yeah. And of course, in the later movie, she plays a nice character, Lucy. But yeah, yes, but same with Christian. It was the Looney Tunes show and Despicable Me for me.
Same as you.
Yeah. But yeah, she did like really good for, like, playing, like, a main character. Like,
yeah, they even gave her a southern drawl to her voice.
Yeah. But yeah, for Miss Hattie, a 2. But for Kristen Wiig, of course, always Infinity.
I agree.
0 Infinity.
All right, let's see. Next up, let's see. Oh yeah, Danny McBride. Yeah,
Danny McBride.
Yes, bomb.
He voiced Fred.
Oh.
The neighbor.
Yeah, you're glitching out because I'm gonna.
Yeah, Danny McBride voiced Fred, his neighbor.
Oh. Huh.
Yeah. And this was my introduction to Danny McBride.
I guess same here.
Because another time I got introduced to him was Angry Birds, where he plays Bomb. Of course, another time I got introduced to him was in Kung Fu Panda 2, where he plays the Wolf Boss.
Right.
And your first introduction-wise?
Well, I guess I have no choice. I can't lie. I did recognize his voice then, so it wouldn't have to be Despicable Me. Oh, no, wait. It was Land of the Lost, right, yes.
Oh, Wait, was that a Will Ferrell movie?
Yes, yes.
Oh yeah, good one.
What's that about?
Oh my god. Okay, yes. Like apparently somehow like Will Ferrell, Will Ferrell, Anna, like I can't really pronounce that chick's name. So it was Will Ferrell, Danny McBride, and some other chick. Like they get transported into this another world, and like just like find a way back. And like, well, you have to see them, like see it if you can or something, or I don't know.
And Christian, he was in the movie that you actually watched from live action, Due Date. If you remember, Due Date. He was actually in that movie. Christian?
No, just let it go.
Oh, your question now is really. Are you saying again something about due date?
Yeah, he was in that movie. I think Christian's the one glitching out because he can't hear shit.
I'm like, it's either
Okay,
that or
let's
much
just,
cotton.
No, Christian, I was saying he was also in Due Date. Remember, he was the guy that was managing like the money and everything, and finding out that he was in a wheelchair.
Oh, him. Okay, now I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. But of course, you know, Danny McBride always do collabs with Seth Rogen and many other actors that you see today. But yeah, it was a cool introduction for me. Even though it was a little bit of a small role, I still appreciate it.
Yeah.
If you think he had small, what about everyone else?
Well, yeah. Also, hi, Mike Tyson.
What?
Yeah, I heard you say, yeah. You did say it.
Oh my god, it reminds me when Jamie Foxx was doing the impression of Mike. Came some cool shit. Nah. Okay, but yeah. For Danny McBride, I give them, Infinity. It was awesome.
I guess me too.
Next up, Jack McBrayer.
Right, because he was the amusement park rigger.
And the tourist dad.
Yeah. Look, honey, I'm on the pyramid in the top of my head.
Oh yeah, and man, he was still sunburnt. I hate to see inside of sunburnt.
But yeah, this was my introductions to like Jack McBrayer, along with Phineas and Ferb. Yeah, that's my first official one.
Well, I didn't really know much about him, so my semi-introduction was Despicable Me and Phineas and Ferb, but then my true introductions were Water Over Yonder and Wreck-It Ralph.
Cool.
For me, it was Cats and Dogs: The Revenge of Kitty Galore.
Nice.
Sweet Anito.
Yeah. But for like the carnival guy, I give him a like 2 because he was just acting like a jerk too, like Gru. But for the
Yeah.
guy, I give him a 10 out of 10. He was funny.
Yeah, and Jack McBrayer, of course, Infinity. He's one of my favorite voice actors.
Alright, next up, Minnie Kaling.
Oh.
What?
Forget about the name that shall not be mentioned. Let's just focus on the good things. That's all it's about.
Well, who did she play in the movie?
The tourist
The mom.
mom.
F. Christian, can you mention why you just said that?
Because of V. That's what it is.
Well, obviously, but is that like kind of racist because of like her transformation from the show?
No,
like
and plus, I've heard a lot of bad thing about her. Like I saw a compilation of disgust from Inside Out, and I found out apparently she kissed her coworker, and also said like if like mentioned anything to get fired. So she's pretty bad.
It doesn't
Yeah.
say nothing about that. Where did you read this from?
I saw it in comments of the video. See if I could.
Oh yeah, you probably read it for some
The comments are
stupid.
gonna actually help you out because they always fucking lie. You gotta believe comments over like the actual person because if you look to her descriptions, there's nothing bad about her. She's actually a very nice actor. So yeah, the comments lie to you.
And let's not forget that she's she's of Indian descent, so that's why you kind of almost got sound a little racist because.
Yeah. Oh, I remember when Christian was talking about the worst shows from his stream. He thought Velma was black. Remember that? He thought Velma was black, but when I told you she was Indian, then you got more racist.
You're gonna be on racist to your best friend?
Both of your best
I
friends.
wasn't trying to.
Both of them, because, black, Indian. What are we? Black and Indian. How dare you? I'm just playing. But, this was my true introduction to her. Then it was like Wreck-It Ralph and in The Office.
Awesome sauce.
Yeah, along with Inside Out, what he just mentioned. But, she did good, Let's see, who else? Of course, we have, one of, the directors and producers and one of the creators of, Illumination Studios, who voices the minions, Pierre,
Pierre Coffin.
Yeah. It's surprising, voicing all the minions and all that, except for one minion in particular, because this shocked me when I found this out years ago, that the minion that said, "What?" that was the voice of Nigel from Rio.
No.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
The fact that dude from Blue Skies came around to voice him for a small role, that's just, wow.
Remember, he's also in, Men in Black, where he plays Boris the animal.
And let's not forget Shiny.
Yes, Crab Dude.
Tamatoa.
Tom, sorry.
Crab
I've seen it. I only saw it once. I need to actually get a DVD of it because I used to have a copy of it.
I mean, other than that, is there any more, or is that it from you guys?
Wait. Let's not forget.
What?
There was Scott Menville.
Oh, yeah. Because he played one of the workers from, the carnival, and he was the one operating the roller coaster.
Oh, right. That was a total shocker.
Yeah. But he did really good, though, even though it was a small role, as we discussed before, but still did good.
Let's see, other different ones here. There was...
There was also Ken Jeong. He played the talk show host.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that. I didn't know he was in the first movie before the second movie.
Mm-hmm.
Go figure. I think that's it.
Yeah, I tried to find who else was there. I guess I had to watch the movie for the credits because I can't find squat on freaking Wikipedia because they.
I mean, of course, there's also the additional voices that we described before, but let me just look into that too. Because again, with Illumination Studios, they're very clever, especially in using the same, voice actors or actors for their additional voices. Who can I say for example? John Cassier, he's one of them.
Right.
Let's see here. So yeah, the additional voices. Let's see here. Yeah, Scott Menville, of course, one of them. Let's see here. There was also the kid. Oh yeah, Charlie Bright. Yeah. So he did the additional voices because one of them was the boy with the ice cream when he was crying.
Uh-huh.
And he was acting in Toy Story 3 where he plays one of the peas in the pod and Andy when he was younger.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, very good, cast, and it was a very unique way of Illumination Studios, became what it be.
Yes, 100% guaranteed.
And explaining more about Illumination Studios, with what they're doing recently, I like it, especially with their casting choices, because I like how they don't similar to DreamWorks or Pixar. Sometimes they do this, it's a good way and a bad way, but recasting the same people you had in the past, it barely happens, except currently, one example, Danny DeVito.
Yes.
Of course, the Lorax, and now he's in Migration. Let's see, who else? Nick Kroll for Sing, and The Secret Life of Pets 2, where he plays Sergi, the villain. Yeah, and of course Steve Carell voicing both Gru and Drew, just taking more characters. It's very unique how they vary in that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And especially with the additional voices nowadays, you get to see Kevin Mickelson and John DiMaggio doing all of it, especially the shorts.
Yeah, and they're both of them are in Rise of Gru.
And the Mario movie, don't forget.
Well, right, Kevin Mickelson is.
And John DiMaggio.
He voices one of the uncles, of course.
I forgot. What did I do?
Yeah, you know what you did. And I like how they gave John that role because most of the actors that were in this Mario movie was like half Italian. Like, yes, Rino Romano, Jessica DeCicco, and John DiMaggio.
Yeah.
Pretty unique. But yeah, I still appreciate this movie, and it was still great. And now to the final thoughts. Yeah, continuing what I just said. Yeah, it's a really great movie to start off with. A big company that's, doing well today. Still very surprised about how many sequels they made with, the Minions and many other movies they did great with. And yeah, I just consider this one of my favorite movies as a kid.
No doubt about it, bruh.
It definitely did prove that when you when you start your first movie and you know what the audience wants, how to make them sympathize with the characters, have them relate to them, have them just make you just entertained and everything. They sure give you their best effort, and I place it as my second favorite Despicable Me movie. The first one being the second one because it was just it just felt just something.
Oh, okay, that was really good first, because I see people ranking their favorite Illumination Studio movies here and there in YouTube or Instagram, but yeah. But it's good for you, because, with Illumination Studios, yeah, I have to consider the first Minions movie as, the first, because it was a great start, of course.
Right, point of Star Wars, put them in chronological order like they should be.
Yeah.
And it's also called prequels, too, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But of course, for this great franchise, this great about it, deserving a banana here and there, if any.
Banana!